Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Crypto Trading with Crypto Trader and Crypto Trader's Room, of course. And it's the only place that we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in digital currency. So I want to welcome everybody that's joining this live stream. And if you haven't done so already, if you're a new time viewer, please click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification, so that you're notified every time a video is uploaded or I end up doing some type of spur of the moment type of live stream. And then stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And we are live streaming this on Steemit as well as Facebook. So if you are viewing this on Steemit and Facebook, thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate it. Don't be afraid. Say what's up. And shout out your country. I'm always curious to see, where everybody's from, because YouTube's global. Crypto Trader's Room is starting to become global. So it's a great way for me to know where you guys are from, or ladies. But yeah, welcome, Breck. You were the first one on here. Thanks for chatting with me as I was getting things set up. Andrea, welcome. Arkit, welcome. TJM, welcome. And TJM, I don't think you were on the last live stream, but I definitely want to include you into the super chat giveaway that I did, because you were one of the persons that donated utilizing super chat, and that was a little while ago. So I want to definitely include you in that. So Andrea, TJM, and there was another person that I already got their address, so I've emailed them. But yeah, I want you guys to email me, and then us three will set up a time, a day where it's convenient for all three of us, all four of us, to kind of just have a chit chat. And it's up to you guys if you want to live stream this or if you want to do it privately. Robert, welcome. W. Joel, welcome. Austin, Texas, Ohio. Yeah, TJ, I didn't think you were on. And when I was actually looking at the super chat, it kind of disappeared. And I tried to find you through YouTube, but I couldn't find you. There were a lot of TJMs. Igor, welcome, buddy. Good morning. Yeah, Joel, actually, Kraken is pretty good. I do like their platform. I like their charting, considering they bought out CryptoWatch and they are incorporating. Well, actually, they've probably already incorporated CryptoWatch into their charting system. But yeah, Kraken is not bad at all. It is not bad. I think the only thing I don't like is about their withdrawal fees. They do charge you to withdraw your USD, but a lot of them do too. So you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. But yeah, before we get started, I'm going to briefly talk about the contest. And I want to make sure everybody can hear me because I do have a new microphone. I tested it yesterday. So I'm hoping everything is working fine. If it's not, let me know. If it's choppy, if I'm too close to the mic, hopefully I'm not. Or if you can't hear me at all, please let me know. Sounds good, Robert. Awesome. Thank you so much. So last week, last Friday, I had a contest. Dylan, welcome, bud. Thank you so much. I did a contest, and there were two questions that I asked. And that's basically the opportunity to for me to give back to the viewers that I do have, considering you guys are very generous with your time and spending this, time with me on this live stream, commenting on the videos and things like that. So in celebration of the 2,000 subscriber count, I decided to kind of ask two questions, and I wanted to kind of give back to, the first people to really go on the live stream or on the video and answer that question. So the first question was, of course, it was almost like it was basically a riddle that you had to solve. I was 6 years old, and my brother was half my age. Now I'm 50. How old is my brother was the question. And it looks like Benelli, I don't think you're on here. I haven't seen your name yet. If you're on here, definitely say what's up. But you are the winner. You were the first one to actually get on there and answer 47. 47 is correct. A lot of people, that I've talked to said 25. And I had to repeat the question several times, and then they finally got it. But yes, 47 is the answer. Carl, unfortunately, you were a second late, I think, or maybe less than a minute late in answering that question. But there'll be other times there'll be other times available. I'll be doing other contests and things like that, and I'll explain the next contest that's going to be happening. But Benelli, congratulations. Shoot me an email or, shoot me a Facebook message, and we can get that coordinated for you, for us to really spend that, half an hour for you to ask me any questions that you want, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. Or we can live stream it if you want. That's completely up to you. If you don't want to live stream it, I completely understand. But congratulations to Benelli for winning that contest. And then there was a second question that I asked. Now, this one was a little tough, to be honest with you. And it took me a while to go back and find the actual video that I talked about it. And I talked about it in a couple of different videos, but I wasn't really thorough with how many I had actually bought. Basically the question was, I had bought Ethereum Classic at one point. I bought it twice. How many did I buy? And at what price point did I buy those Ethereum Classics at? It took me a while to find that video. So, as a courtesy, I went ahead and just kind of, put a little message out there telling people to check out the video from April 26th and May 11th for the answer to what price and how many I purchased of Ethereum Classic. And Marianne, you were the one that got it right. And you were really the only one that answered it, to be honest with you. But yes, the answer was I bought 500 at $4.30. And then I bought 1,071 at $7. Marianne just found the channel. She's a rookie, and she really likes the way I explain things. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So Marianne, you have half an hour of my dedicated time for us to be able to chat, for you to ask me anything that you want to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. But yes, you guys are the two winners. Congratulations. But yeah, please reach out to me. If you don't reach out to me, I will do my best to try to reach out to you. It is very hard for me to try to send you a message through Facebook. Or actually even, I can do it through Facebook if you follow us, but it's very hard for me to send a message through YouTube. So congratulations to you too. I look forward to our conversation. Whenever it is that you guys want to chat, we'll go ahead and get that coordinated. So let's go ahead and close that out. And then I'll take a look at the comments, and then we're really going to start digging deep into some of these cryptocurrencies that are on Bitfinex in the sense of EOS, OMG, Iota, SAN. Those are really what I'm kind of interested in. And of course, we saw this past weekend where, what was it, blew up? OMG just kind of blew up to $1.60, and I was watching it at 78, 80 cents, $1, got rejected from $1. And I was actually looking for a position at 75 cents, but it never came to me. So never got into it, but we'll definitely cover that. Let's see what people are saying. But yes, so TJ, and then also Rocky Mountain. I don't know if you're on here today, as well as Oni. You guys also have, TJ, you're going to be with the other group with Andreas and Zin. You three will have a 30-minute access to me to talk about anything and everything. But with Rocky Mountain High and Oni, we will be doing a kind of like a brew and chat type of live stream. If they want to live stream it, I think they're interested in live streaming it, where they can ask me anything, and I'll be asking them some questions too in regards to cryptocurrency and how they got involved in it, and what are they doing to to kind of spread that mass adoption. It's something that we should all be doing, just talking about it to everybody that we can, because there are people out there that are willing to listen to it. Now, I've talked to a lot of people about cryptocurrency. Some of them, it's just in one ear, out the other. They'll contact you years later when actually Bitcoin starts to make a move. But some people will actually listen to it. So, let's do our part and kind of try to talk to anybody we can that's willing to listen about cryptocurrency and get that mass adoption up there. Joe, yes, you're correct. 47. Enrico, sorry, buddy, not 37. Yeah, 47 was the answer. So basically, my brother was 3 years younger than me. Even though he was half my age at 6 years old. At 50 years, when I'm 50, he's 47, but I'm not 50. That was just kind of a riddle. Yes, Marianne, please do so. Please do so, and we can kind of coordinate. That time and day, whenever you have free time, I will work around your schedule. As long as it's not the days that I do a live stream, I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. And we could do it through Skype. We could do it through Google Hangout, whatever is really convenient for you. Yeah, Joe. And I know you did. I know you did because I saw it come through. But yeah, the problem was that, it was last week's contest. That had to be left on the a comment had to be left on the actual video after it got uploaded. But, keep tuning in because we are going to do other contests and things like that, for me to kind of, give back to the community that's really given to me, by spreading, the crypto traders, news and really just helping this channel grow. So I do appreciate what you guys are doing, and I don't mind at all giving back the time that I have to be able to have an engagement conversation. Yes, not a problem. I will type in the email address. But yeah, shoot me an email, and then we can get something coordinated. Especially with the ones that I'm having more than one person joining the call. With Marianne, it's just one person, so it's not that big of a deal. It's easy to coordinate that. But when I have 3 or 4 or possibly more later on down the road, then yeah, it could be just getting that time coordinated could be a little tough. But I am going to have a contest basically starting this week, and I'm actually going to call it, and I put it in the title, and it's going to be called Super Chat and Chill. So I'm basically going to look at who's utilizing Super Chat, and I'm going to go ahead and pick maybe the top 5 contributors, or maybe the top 6 contributors. And if there's a tie, we'll include anybody that's tied. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Super Chat. And, I'll pick the 5, maybe the 6 top contributors. And once a week, maybe we'll call it Super Chat Saturday or Super Chat Sunday, where we will do a chat and chill type of conversation. And if you want to live stream it, we'll gladly live stream it. I'd be happy to live stream it. But yeah, that's going to be a contest that's going to be happening every week. So once a week, I'll take a look at Super Chat, and I'll look at the top contributors, the top 5 contributors, and, I'll give my dedication and time back to whoever is utilizing Super Chat. So that is a contest that's going to be happening every week, and we'll either do it on a Saturday or a Sunday. So let me know what you guys think about Chat and Chill, Super Chat giveaway. If you guys are interested, that's great. If not, then, we won't do it. All right, though, let's get back to some of these cryptocurrencies. We're not going to really take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and things like that. If we have time at the end, we will definitely take a look at them. But I did say that I wanted to kind of focus in on these 4 cryptocurrencies, and we'll cover EOS first. EOS. Breck, you're definitely interested. Awesome. Ark is interested. Joel's interested. Sweet. That is awesome. But yeah, and I think that's kind of a great way for me to have an engaging conversation, instead of me talking and you guys just typing out questions and things like that. It'll actually be a little more interactive, I think. So that's going to be something new for Crypto Traders Room, is to do these chat and chill with viewers once a week. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe, if I have the ability and it doesn't get too crazy, I might invite more people to this chat and chill. We will see. But I think, as of right now, probably just kind of started at 5 at the minimum. And if you guys like that idea of chat and chill, make sure you pound that like button. Pound that like button like there's no tomorrow. All right, Joe, you got into EOS last night after seeing an interview with CTO. I saw an interview too with Dan Latterman, I think it is. Is his name Dan? I think it might have been Dan, the guy from Steam It, as well as I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't think of what else he created. But he's the one that's basically creating EOS, and EOS is supposed to be, it is running on the Ethereum network currently, but it is supposed to be its own platform where they can create decentralized applications on it. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at EOS. We'll take a look at OMG. I really like OMG, and I wish I would have took a position in it last night or yesterday when I saw it kind of get rejected from that $1 price point, but that's a whole different story. Yes, Kraken does have EOS USD, and so does Bitfinex. Yes, you're absolutely right. BitShares, I do like BitShares. I like the foundation, really, and I've said it before. I like any cryptocurrency that's really has the foundation for other tokens to be created on their platform. Yes, the tokens might go away, but the actual foundation that they're being built on is not going to go away. And there are a handful of cryptocurrencies that have those type of foundations. And of course, Ethereum is number one because there's just so many applications that are being built on there. But there's still a lot of them out there that I need to research. There's Omni, BitShares, of course, you guys just mentioned that. Counterparty, of course, Ethereum Classic, Nubits, Next, Ubique, Waves, Burst. So I mean, there are these cryptocurrencies out there that are sleepers that are having tokens built on their platform. Now, like I said, it's not as many as Ethereum, but hopefully, they will take some of that reign from Ethereum and start having other tokens and applications being built on their platform. And if that's the case, I mean, there is a sleeping beauty in there somewhere, and she's just waiting to be awoken. Greetings from Amsterdam. Welcome. Yes, that's what it was, Joel. Thank you so much. I couldn't think of it. I was drawing a blank. Yes, BitShares is the other project that he worked on. Yeah, so I think EOS has a great potential, but I need it to come back. I need it to come to me. I can't go chasing it, to be honest with you. Yes, I could buy a little bit, but I want to get a good entry, and we're going to be looking at what is a possibly good entry, and what are what are the probabilities of those entries really working out. So we'll be taking a look at a good amount of those. And shares would be next. Ah, man, I mean, they said that was an Ethereum killer. I mean, they're saying the same thing about EOS as well too. It's Ethereum killer. Can anything really kill Ethereum? I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But there is a lot of money that's being dumped into Ant Shares. And Ant Shares is rebranding the 24th. I think that's today, actually. So they're going to be called what? Neos or Neo? So there's some branding that's re-happening. And if I have time, we'll definitely take a look at Ant Shares. I don't mind at all and see exactly how it's reacting to the price point. But let's go ahead and take a look at EOS currently right now. And of course, EOS was just listed not long ago. Let's see. Corey, what's up, buddy? Welcome. I mean, this thing got pushed. I remember this when it was listed. I didn't get the notification right away because it was during the process of me moving. But yeah, it was listed at 50 cents, maybe a little less than 50 cents, 40 cents, I think it might have been. It was listed at $1.20, dropped to 50 cents, and then had a nice pickup to about $1.50. And of course, gave it back under $1. And then that was really the last time that we saw under $1. We have not seen under $1 yet. $1.13 is what it got close to when everything was crashing. But they took it up to $5.50. So hopefully nobody bought it at $5.50. And if you bought it at $5.50, hopefully you were thinking about it as a long-term hold, not as a possible swing trade or just to hold for a couple of days. That definitely has turned into a long-term hold, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead and plot out some of our points. And this is going to be a little tough, so I might have to actually get rid of the live chat on the right-hand side just to kind of enlarge this thing. But I want to see where it broke down to when it really came down. It was 113, 119-ish. All right, let's go ahead and draw out a couple trend lines. So we're going to say that 115 just to kind of be on the safe side, but it did get to 113. I don't think they were going to drop this thing to $1 at all. And we're going to make that a different color. There we go. All right, that's kind of really the point that I would look to see if this thing is going to turn around too. I mean, that's really the kind of the bottom price. Of course, I'm not really looking at exactly what happened, when it first got listed. I was looking to see exactly, what happened afterwards. And that $1 or $1.15 is actually not a bad point because that's really kind of where, she came down to 94 cents. Where's 94 cents? 94 and a half, somewhere to that extent. And after that, really, it has not seen under $1. So that $1 is really almost like the psychological level where I don't think traders are going to allow this thing to get below $1, where they're going to really provide that support to it. And we're going to look at the order book as well too and see exactly what type of support does it have at that $1 psychological level. So 115 is kind of where I put the bottom support level at, but it is going to have other support levels. It is also going to have resistance. And that's a great thing about this chart, is that we do have a good amount of history on it, in the sense that, you know, we do have up and down swings. If we didn't have these up and down swings and we just had a nice continuously climb to the upside, it would be hard for me to determine exactly where the resistance is, because it's just making new highs. When something's making new highs, you really don't know where the resistance is. You can only look at the order book and say, okay, majority of the buyers or majority of the sellers is stacked up at this specific price. I need to get out before they do, because there's a possibility that that price will either go up or go down, depending on, you know, if you're looking at the buying side or the selling side. All right, so aside from that 113, where else do we see a good amount of price action happening? And I would say somewhere in that range of $1.37 to $1.45, but we're going to say $1.45. All right, so not exactly $1.45, but, you know, it's basically going to be $1.45. That's where we're going to put that to. I'm going to make these lines a little thicker so you guys are able to see them. All right, so those are two areas of support basically that we have, and there's going to be another area of support. So we'll basically have plotted out, you know, almost like the first area of support, second area of support, third area of support, and then we'll go take a look at the probabilities as well too. Let's see what you guys are saying, because if you can't see this chart, then I'm gonna have to change something up. Oh, what is not? Let me refresh this. I'm sharing this chart with you guys. So hopefully that didn't go off. That didn't go too long. Okay, so you guys, all right, now I'm looking at the actual, let me make sure it's presented to everybody. I do apologize about that. So Andreas, thank you so much for letting me know. Yes, Marianne, I definitely forgot to switch, because I have basically four monitors and a laptop. So it's been acting up a little bit when I'm sharing the actual screen that I'm working on, where it's sharing a different screen. And when I was testing out a lot of things yesterday, it was there was definitely a little hiccup. And I'm like, you know, I'm sharing screen 1, but it's showing screen 3 for some apparent reason. Let's make the lines thicker to see them. Yes. Hopefully this is thick enough. Let me know. If it's not, I can definitely make them probably just a little thicker. Let me go ahead and make them just as thick as they can be. All right, I think you guys are viewing the same exact thing that I'm viewing now. Please let me know if it's not. Yes, Andres, I will repeat everything. I definitely will. All right, I think we're good now. Okay, so basically now what I did was plot out two areas of support. And of course, you know, the nice thing about this chart is, you know, we had a nice pump up to 550 and a nice, you know, basically, I mean, they dropped it. You know, it's not instantaneous that they dropped it, but over a long sustained period of time, they did drop it. So we do have the ability to plot out our support and our resistance, because it has made, you know, a high of 550 and a low of $1 or $2, or $1.13 actually it was. So our basically, you know, bottom area of support is going to be that $1.15-ish. Yes, it reached $1.13, but I just put it to $1.50 just to or $1.15 just to kind of be on a safe side, and that's our orange line right here. You're just joking, dude. I have no issues repeating this at all. Not at all, man. And then basically our yellow dotted line is going to be the second area of support from the bottom support, basically. And I mean, we're going to have other areas. I just haven't really gotten to that yet. And then we're going to have basically the resistance. So we have the support, and as we get above the actual price of it now, then it really starts to become a resistance that points that it could actually turn around from and have a downtrend. All right, so let's see if we can find a second area of support. And a lot of times I've said to you guys, you know, cryptocurrencies, or even really stocks, they like to make the previous area of resistance a new area of support. So if you can look at the history of it and kind of go back, it'll almost tell you what the future will do. Almost, not 100%, almost. You can kind of figure out the probabilities of where the areas of support and resistance are from points in the past that it bounced off from. So if you can see that, hypothetically, let's just say, it's bouncing off a dollar continuously, where it's dropping close to a dollar and then coming right back up, and it would go up $2 or $3, drop to a dollar and come right back up. That dollar is going to be a very strong area of support because continuously, numerous times, it's bounced off that level to the upside. Or if it's breaking down, then you can say, you know what, this thing is having a hard time breaking out above $1. It's tried it numerous times. The history has shown us for the past 5 months, it just cannot get over a dollar. Then if you are in that position, that you should be holding past a dollar because it's telling you that it doesn't like to go up past a dollar. It's gotten rejected numerous times. So that's why you always want to look at the history of where it's been to kind of have an idea of where it might be going, if that even makes sense. All right, I'm going to get rid of this chat. And I will try to get to the chat because I need a larger screen. So if you leave me an important message, or important comment, I will try to get to it. It bounced off that $1.80 level, very nice. But I would have probably plotted it right at 175-ish. So I would say right around 175-ish, it's going to have a nice support. But it bounced off, basically came down to 180 and bounced right up. So now when I talk about these areas of support and resistance, and I say, $1.45, it's not going to be $1.45 to an exact. Remember that, give or take, basically, because there could be buyers that are coming in and basically supporting it, hopping in on top of other people that are supporting it at 145. So they might only get it to like 148, and then it'll bounce back up. And I'm just using that as an example. But all right, let's go ahead and we need another trend line. And I said right around that 175-ish. All right, 175 is there. So let's go ahead and change that color to, I don't know, blue. And then we'll start, once we really get over the price point, then we'll start really using the green color because then we're in the clear. We want it to start breaking out, especially if anybody has a position in this, which I don't have a position yet. But you guys can see, the orders that I kind of put in before I go to bed. 2,000 for sand at 15 cents. Actually, not 15 cents. It's 0.15001. And I will explain that to you because you'll have a better chance of having it executed if you put that one at the end of it. If I just put 15 cents, more than likely it'll get to 0.15001. And I've seen that happen a lot where, Ethereum or something else will get just, well, not Ethereum because you can't really do it up to 5 decimal points. But some of these cryptocurrencies, they do get to, basically, 1. And instead of hitting 17 cents, they'll hit 17,001. So having that one definitely helps. You have a better chance of having it executed. Sorry, I had to mute that. And I did, like I stated, I did get a new microphone, and this thing picks up just about every background noise. So when I think when I go back and listen to the live stream, we'll see how much of the background noise it picked up. But yesterday, it was picking up things that were upstairs that my kids were doing, and I was like, wow, that's not good. So I might have to actually return the microphone if it keeps doing it, or figure out a way to kind of muffle that noise that's coming from upstairs. All right, where's our other area? Other area where it completely broke down from $2.12 was that high that it hit. But it shouldn't have really got up that high. It should have had resistance right around the $2 level. So $2 is going to be our second area. All right, let's see. Where's $2? So this is going to be actually a resistance because it's under $2 right now. All right, so this will be green for the meantime. All right, let me get to a little bit of the comments, and then we're going to go ahead and plot out possibly other areas. We'll try to go up as high as we can, but we might not be able to plot those out though until we actually kind of see what type of move is it making. But yeah, I can see 250 having a hard time. possibly 263, anywhere from 250 to 263, but we'll plot those out. 350-ish, or actually 325-ish. You're going long on EOS. Yeah, just don't go all in. Don't go all in. Corey, I would like to be in EOS and these other, really total four cryptocurrencies that I'm going to be talking about. This is something I want to kind of look for long term. And when I say long term, I don't mean a year, 2 years. I mean, it could be, less than 30 days. To me, that's long term, to be honest with you. To a lot of people, that's not long term because they're actually long term investors. Remember, I'm a trader. So really, for me to hold something for 30 days, that's a long time. Normally, it's about a week or so, less than a week, depending on the price action. Sometimes it's less than a day that, I see it moving and, 4-hour window, it gave me the profit that I'm happy with. And I usually will sell. But I think, these four are going to be a long-term hold. And that's why I want to do a good amount of research on them to determine, which ones are going to be the best ones. I don't think I'm going to get into all four of them. I mean, I do have buy orders in for all four of them in the hopes that one or two will possibly execute. But I don't see myself holding all four, to be honest with you. You've been hearing a lot of good stuff, especially about EOS. Yes, it's supposed to be the Ethereum killer, as they say. I don't know if it will. Yes, will it be a competition for possibly Ethereum? Yes, but I don't think it'll be the Ethereum killer. You hear Mario Kart? Yes, Breck, you do. My son is playing Mario Kart. Man, this microphone picks up everything. Tracy, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. You don't understand why EOS went all the way up to $6. If it trends to 3-4 by the end of the year, wouldn't that be a more realistic price? Yes, and I like how the fact you use realistic price because a lot of these cryptocurrencies, when they go up, they're not being realistic. They're being irrational. If we even can think of realistic with cryptos, oh man, you were just thinking exactly what I was thinking. I hadn't even read that part yet. Yeah, I mean, cryptocurrencies, they're not rational. I think somebody said that's why I kind of refer to them as she. Because they're kind of irrational sometimes. I didn't say it though. Looking for another buy-in answer. Yeah, I would love to take a look at it. But we're going to be heavily covering because I did promise to be covering these cryptocurrencies. So we'll see. Crush the competition. I don't know if they will. I mean, it'll be a competition. I don't know if they'll crush it. They might take away some of the market cap, but I think that's all that they can do. Yes, I'm actually using the Blue Yeti, and that's what I picked up. It came in yesterday. I did a lot of tests on it yesterday, and there were just good things and bad things with it. So, hopefully I don't go back to my, $20 Best Buy headset. But we'll see how this works out for the next couple of days. And if I don't like it, I'll return it. But hopefully it does work well. Potters won. Yes, dude. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that this is your daily Monday ritual. I like it. I like it. Turn down the gain. Yes. Let me do that and see if that makes a difference. Actually, I have the gain set to 1/4 of the way. Let me turn it down just a little bit. So right now the gain is less than 1/4. But yeah, when I put it in the middle, it was way too high when I was testing it out. So I thought the 1/4 wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's less than 1/4 now. So let me know if I need to turn it up or if I should keep it down. Yes, Dan Latimer is somebody that's going to really, I think, turn it around. I mean, look, he's done with Steam it. He's done great with that, Ant shares, but yeah, I just, it kind of sucks to kind of see somebody leave a project that has the possibility to, have a major disruption. I don't know his reasoning for leaving, but, it would have been good if he would have, stayed at those projects and kind of saw them through and not hop from one project to another project. Now, is he going to do the same thing with EOS after he develops EOS? Is he going to, move on to something else? I mean, who knows? Hopefully he'll stick around with it. Yes, I am in cardioid mode. And I tested out all the different modes yesterday, but even on, carrier mode, it picks up the noise from upstairs and the background noise. I mean, you can probably hear my daughter dropping her, I don't know, chapstick I think she has. No, I'm not using the headphone input on the mic for feedback. Not until I actually start doing, those chat and chills, and they actually, the viewers want to live stream it. If that's the case, then I will be using the mic input on the Yeti. Tracy, yeah, I've had to keep refreshing mine as well too. To be honest with you, numerous times just to make sure what I'm looking at is the same exact thing that you guys are looking at. So yes. All right, so let's go ahead and continue plotting this out and see exactly where the prices are. I would love to take a position today, especially if sand maybe gets to 20 cents. Ripple, I'm sorry, I will not be, unless Ripple gets like 10 cents, then I will take a look at it. But watching this thing go from, I don't know, 18 cents to 19 and a half cents is just not fun. It's not something fun to trade. But OMG, we'll take a look at that as well too, because that is a position that I'm interested in, and I just couldn't get the entry I wanted yesterday. Not at all. All right, so now we're going to be basically looking at, we're going to be looking at resistance. What are the possible resistance that this thing is going to have if it does decide to make a nice move to the upside. So of course, we want to look at where it's been in comparison to, where it wants to possibly go, and where is it going to turn around from? What are the price points that we kind of see that there was a good amount of price action? So the 250-ish, that 250 level, there was some sort of price action. There was a good amount of battle that happened between the bears and the bulls. Let's see if we can change that color. Hopefully you guys can see that color. All right, so the 250 range. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to get there, but if it does have some sort of move, at least we have, plotted out where those support lines are. Now, we don't know if those are actually, or I'm sorry, where the resistance are. Now, we don't know if those resistance are 100%. This is just one of the ways to kind of figure out your probabilities. And then we'll have to look at the order book and see exactly where people are stacked up to determine if the probability is high for us to, for it to break out above 250 possibly, or to hit 250 and kind of break down, or to hit $2 and just break down to the downside. The order book, as long as it's not being fudged, will give us a better indication. $250, then it's going to be possibly $3. It seems like it's increments of 50, but this one is not going to be increments of 50. So about 340. I think at 340, between 340 and 350, if I bought this at $1, I would not be holding it past that. So right around the 340-ish range. So 340 though, I'm going to make this red because I want this thing to slow down, especially if I'm a long-term investor. I don't want to see a parabolic move. We saw what happened when there's a parabolic move. It just comes crashing. So as a long-term investor, I would want it to slow down. Slow down if it gets too high too fast. As a trader though, I want to see those crazy dips. I really do. All right, so let's take a look and see exactly how she's reacting right now to the current price point and what we've plotted out. And we're not going to look at anything in the past. We're going to basically kind of look ahead into the future to see, exactly what this thing might do. So $1.86, and we've got a couple points plotted out. So we're going to really take a look at the 175, 145, and see what kind of support there is at those specific levels. So that's why I like Bitfinex, because you can look at the whole order book. And I usually have this up, if I'm not doing a live stream, I'll usually have this up on a separate screen. So whatever cryptocurrency I'm looking at, I can kind of switch to it and kind of have access to the full order book as I'm looking at the chart as well too. All right, so what do we say? $1.75, I think. $1.85. Ooh, 50,000. There we go. One buyer for 50,000. 185.22. Current ask price is 187.59. and current bid is 187.03. So we'll see how she reacts to that 185.22. And that's why it's always good to kind of put in, just don't put in 185, because more than likely you wouldn't have it executed, especially if you're not looking at this order book. If you want to take a position in this, I would look to put it at 185.20. Let's see, probably 24, just so I'm first in, first out, because there's nobody at 185.24, because the next person is at 185.23. So if I was looking at getting a position in this, that's basically where I would put it. I'm first in, first out, and it'll get executed, before it gets to 185.22. If it does get to 185.22, considering there is a good amount of support at that level. Hopefully you guys like the music in the background. All right, sorry about that. 185.22, 50,000, one buyer. So that's a good amount. That is a good amount. It's not a bunch of buyers that are stacked up at that level. It's just one person. So it's a little scary. I mean, yes, it's only 50,000, but when that person is ready to take profit, who knows if they're a day trader or a long-term investor. One person dumping 50,000 is a lot. I would rather kind of see the amount of buyers stacked up a lot higher than just one. I would have liked to at least seen 3 or 4 buyers at that specific price for those amount of coins. So when that person's ready to dump, it'll have some sort of adverse reaction to the price, because he's not going to be the only one selling at that specific price. All right, so another 50,000 at 181, and that's one person. So this could be the same person. So we'll see how, if this pattern continues, and if this pattern keeps continuing, then, we're going to go ahead and assume that that's one possible person. All right, so let's see if there's another 50,001. So these are two buyers. So somebody put in probably an order for one coin, and then the other buyer is at 50,000 at 179.2. So there's probably going to be a good amount of these 50,000 orders in the book, unless he's done buying. All right, so that 175. Let's see. So we got 11 people at that 175, which is a good amount of people. 11 traders, 11, or investors assume that that's a good entry price, and that's why we have 11 people. So I do like that 175, even though the amount is not that high. It's 11 people that have the same logic as I'm thinking, saying that 175 is a good support. So as time goes on, there could be a lot more people hopping onto that trade, or hopping on top of that person to try to have it executed, as this person right here is doing. They put their order into 1.7501. So that's why that 01 is very important, because it could touch that and then really not get to 175 even and have a nice run up. And then the person that put their order in at 175 missed it by 0.001. So definitely very beneficial to do that. Let's see if we got any other big buyers. 170, there's 10 of them, but not too many coins. 160, I'm sorry, not 160. Yes, 160, 14 buyers for 5,500 almost. 155, 7 of them. So it's got different points. Here we go, 19,000, 21,000. So 150, 23 people. And I need to take a look at the actual chart to see if if I plotted out the 150. So I do like the 23 people at 150. So 150 might not be a bad spot to kind of take an entry if it gets to that level. And that's just to kind of get your feet wet just a little bit and see how she reacts to the price. 144, one person for 21,000. So hopefully she doesn't get below 150. But yeah, if it's one person that's buying a good amount, then the problem we're going to have is that person is going to want to dump it. $1.05. So it hasn't reached $1.05 yet after that massive uptick that it had to 550 on a downtrend wise. It only got to 113.5, let's just say 114-ish. At that 114 though, there's one person, a 113.77, which was a low. There's one person looking to purchase 19,355. But this 105 could be the bottom if, and that's on, and that's a big if it gets to that level, if it has a major turnaround That's a good amount of support of 7 people for 150,000 coins. So that could be the price that it actually turns around from. Anything else underneath that is basically wishful thinking that it would get to the level. Unless we have a major crash with, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, everything else is crashing, then yes, there's a possibility it can break below $1. But, if Ethereum is strong, and which it has been strong, it's been kind of stabilized at that 225, 228 price point. Bitcoin has made a huge comeback. So as long as everything's stable, this is going to be somewhat stable. But yeah, if we do have a major crash or a major dumping on the major cryptos, then yes, that can have an adverse effect on the other cryptocurrencies, where people will be selling some of these cryptocurrencies to put money into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, whatever is dropping. So that 150 and 105, I do like the 150, possibly for a small entry. So let's go back to the chart on EOS. And then OMG, I'm going to really take a look at that because it is starting to drop from that high of 160 that it hit. So the 150, it was about a good amount that we're at that price point. And I put our support level to 145. So we're very close to the probability, so it could be the 150, considering there's a good amount of support that it bounces from, and not possibly the 145. And that's why it's very beneficial to look at the order book and to really look at it, not just once, but continuously, because that order book changes all the time. All right, so that's basically EOS. We took a look at that. We got our points plotted out. These points will stay there. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Even if I exit out, they should. Let me kind of go to OMG and then go back to EOS, where what we plotted out should be there. And yes, indeed, they are there. That is perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at OMG, and then I'll get to some of the comments before we actually cover OMG. All right, let's see. I don't know if I missed any comments. Oregon homegrown. Let's see what you're saying. You don't think EOS will have anything operational for a year? No, and I think, I did view an interview with Dan Latimer, and he was talking about EOS, and I can't remember when. I think he said end of the year, possibly, that they're going to allow, their really applications to start building on their platform. And I think that was under. I'll probably have to go back and watch the video again, the interview again. But I think that's what he said. But yeah, I mean, with any of these, cryptocurrencies that are just getting out, I mean, they have a concept, they have an idea, and they're asking for funding to develop that idea. And that's basically what we're doing is, with some of these cryptocurrencies, is we're helping fund them to hopefully have a better outlook, better future, that they are going to develop what they say that they're going to develop, and they're not just misleading us and taking our money, basically. Brandon H. And I think Brandon H., you were from Philly, right? I could be wrong, from what I remember. How do I learn about technical analysis? Oh, man, we got to go way back. I mean, I've been trading, the traditional financial market for, man, like almost past 12 years, I would say. I gave it up in January, completely got out of the Ponzi scam that it is. But yeah, man, it's all self-taught. I've made a lot of mistakes, just like any trader has. And if a trader tells you that they haven't made any mistakes at all, take that with a grain of salt. I've had some great wins, had some great losses. But yeah, I mean, I was always in love with charts. That's kind of what I loved. I love that it told me the history of where it's been. And I liked watching money being funneled left and right, and it's just going up and going down, and watch a lot of videos, just try to basically immerse myself into as much information as I could about price action, price movement, and what do candlesticks really tell you? What do they actually mean? And, through trials and errors, I mean, I've learned a lot. So yeah, so you really have to have the passion for it. Learning technical analysis, I mean, it could be very boring. I mean, I talk to people about it and they're like, how can you even see things that the average person probably wouldn't see just by looking at a chart. And I'm like, that's just something I'm passionate about. Like I can look at numbers and charts and just all day and still be excited about it. If you can sleep, dream, eat, and trade on charts, I mean, you have the love for it already. So if you don't have the love for it, then yeah, it's going to be very discouraging. And you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere small. So I wouldn't start when you're talking about technical analysis or technical indicators. I mean, don't overcomplicate it. Really don't. I mean, that's when you're going to stress yourself out. That's when you're going to hate it. And you're not going to want to go back to it. Start at the basic of technical analysis and build your knowledge slowly but surely. And if you do that and you're able to grasp, the basic of a technical analysis, then you're going to be like, man, this is great. I love this thing. But yeah, some people just kind of start off way too hard on really trying to dig deep. And I look at some crazy technical analysis, but at the end of the day, you're clouding your judgment with too many technical indicators and doing too much analysis as well too. But have the passion for it, have the love for it. And that's why I do this. And I've said that before in some of my videos. I mean, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love. Yes, Brandon, I thought you were from Philly. Yeah, and I did talk about us doing, when I'm in Philly, I'll announce it, and then we could do a meet and greet. But I couldn't remember because there were two Brandons, that were on this live stream the other day. And I knew one of them was from Philly. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to OMG. OMG. I was saying that all day yesterday. OMG, and it was mind-boggling, when I saw this thing and I was like, should I buy it? I was like, no. I was like, it's going to correct itself. I'm like, it's going to correct. And I was really waiting for that correction to 75, and it never happened. And then before I went to bed, I did lower my average to 60. But yeah, that 75, just, I thought it would happen, especially when it got rejected from 97 and it just couldn't break out. 97 and a half cents it was, or 98, 99. Let's just say 99 cents. And it had a hard time breaking out above that dollar. And a lot of times they get rejected. And when they get rejected hard. And that's why I was kind of waiting patiently for that 75 cents. But of course, you only got to 84 cents before having a massive run to $1.63. So, when it came up and broke out above $1 and it broke out with a vengeance, I seriously thought about chasing it. And I was like, I can't chase this thing. I'm like, I can't chase it. But, even if I would have bought it at $1.10, sold at $1.60, that's 50 cents. More than likely, I would have bought 2,000. That would have been, $1,000. So, yeah, but it gets a little scary when you chase something and you're looking to take a very sizable position. Now, if I would have taken a very small position, yes, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal for me to chase it because I have a very small position. So if it does turn around and go down on me, I'm not losing too much. And if it does go up, I'm not making that much. But I was looking to get in with a very sizable position, and that was a risk. That I just didn't want to take by chasing it. And I always tell you guys, don't chase it. So I'm glad I didn't chase it because I kind of, I would have broken my rule, and I don't want to start breaking my rules because if I break it now, I'm going to start breaking it later. When I break my rules is when I lose money, and when I stick to my rules is when I preserve my capital and actually make money. So I didn't chase this thing. I did not chase it at all. But we're going to plot out some support and resistance. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the order book. I do have an order in for $1.07, 107.26 is the order for me to purchase 1,000. We'll see. I might cancel the other ones and up it, depending on where we kind of see this thing coming down to. But yeah, it's really going to be all resistance. That's really what we're going to have for this. And I didn't think I had two orders in the book. Oh, I guess I do. Oh, interesting. The other order should have actually been EOS. Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at the lines and I'm like, why does this show that I have two orders in the book at $1.07 and 60 cents? But yeah, I thought the $1.07 was actually EOS, not OMG. But we'll see what it does. Those are probably going to be canceled. Only stick to one. A dollar would be great. I would love to get this thing at a dollar, especially at different points where it actually turned around, where it was prior to resistance, formed as a new support. A lot of times that's what they like to do. And the dollar would actually be not too bad at all, considering that was the previous high that it had set before really taking off and almost going to the moon, from that 84 cents to $1.60. And I'm surprised she really didn't get rejected at all when she hit a dollar. She should have gotten rejected. She should have retraced back down a little bit and got like a nice little running start. But yeah, this is pretty parabolic when it actually broke a dollar, and it broke it pretty nice. And it just wasn't a minor little break. I mean, there was a lot of great candles within that price action to get it to go up higher. But that dollar is a psychological level. So we'll go ahead and plot out the dollar first. Considering it broke through it with a vengeance. Now, it'd be great if it actually made that dollar a new support line, and it was, and it happens to be a very good support line. That's what I'm hoping. So we're gonna make that. I'm gonna make that yellow, or actually, we're gonna make that red because we want it to stop. That's an entry that I would love to get. All right, let me close out this chat too. Mary, you like how I talk about graphs as she? Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that since day one. It's just it's a force of habit, and yeah, somebody made a comment as to why I refer to him as she, but it didn't come from me at all. And I told my wife about it, and she started cracking up. And she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "I hear you saying that all the time, she," and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" What is the best exchange to use for EOS in the US? I mean, there's Kraken, there's also Bitfinex. I wouldn't say they're the best, but they're a platform to use. You really got to take the good with the bad. They all have good things and bad things about them. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at other areas. $0.90 wouldn't be too bad, but it's going to be between 90 cents and 84 cents, somewhere in that range. So we're going to say right around 87 cents would be a good support line. Oh, I erased that somehow. Okay, I'll get that back on. All right, 87 cents, give or take, somewhere in that range. I don't know why this thing is not cooperating with me today. I don't know why I have this top line at 150. That might have been a mistake. Let's go ahead and delete that because we're not up there yet. Yeah, and thank you to 43 viewers today. So thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already and you're a new time viewer, welcome. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification so that you are notified every time a video is uploaded or I end up scheduling a live stream. All right, so the next area of support that we're basically looking at is going to be an area where there might have been some sort of consolidation, and that's going to be right around the 70 cents, possibly right around the 75 cents. That's going to be the really area where it consolidated. And when I say consolidated, I mean, it was for a very short period of time because the chart, I mean, we're only looking at a half-hour price action. So right around the 70-ish, 75-ish, we're going to say 71 just to be on the safe side. Okay, so we got the 71.69. We'll just say 71 just to be on the safe side, plot it out. The other one is really where I had my order at 60 cents. So we'll keep that 60 cents as a support line as well too. All right, so prior to that, I mean, really, we got to dig in deeper because, after it really came down to, 56 cents, having a nice run to 90 cents, that was really the turnaround period. And that's why the 60 cents is very important, that if it does maintain the 60 cents, then, that's a very great area of support. But if she breaks down below it, it could be a little bit of trouble on the horizon for OMG. And she really could come down. And then after that, really, it's going to be possibly 45 cents. And if she doesn't maintain 45 cents, right back down to where her all-time low was, and that will be right around the 32, 33 cents. So we'll go ahead and plot that out, and then we'll take a look at the order book. It's right around 45 first. And I'm hoping you guys can see these lines, but I'll go ahead and color coordinate it later on just to kind of have it stand out a little better. All right, so 31.70, 32 cents. We'll just say 32 cents just to be on the safe side, because I'm sure there are buyers stacked up at that 30. What was it, low? 31.50 looks to be the low. I'm sure there's going to be tons of buyers stacked up at that level. So we're going to say 32 cents just to be on the safe side. What time is it? And I don't know if we're going to have time to cover all the other cryptocurrencies, and especially today, but Wednesday I will cover the other two if I don't have a chance to cover them. But I definitely want to interact with everybody here and be able to answer your questions, especially because I'm not looking at the live chat currently right now. Okay, so we got our areas of support. We got our areas of resistance. Actually, no, we don't have our areas of support. Well, yes, to an extent we do. To an extent, because really it's close to its all-time high. So let me get rid of that because that doesn't belong there at all. Yeah, that's a problem with these cryptocurrencies where they have new highs, really. So considering she's pulled back from that 160, really 160 is going to be the resistance. What did it get to? 162, I think. 163. So 163-ish. And it did turn around from that 125. So we'll go ahead and draw out another area of support right at that 125 level. Okay, you're not going to answer. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the order book and see exactly what is going on with this price action now that we've plotted out some points. But yeah, this is pretty hard to chart, to be honest with you. I mean, even if we're looking at, drawn out a trend line, I mean, this is tough. I mean, this thing has broken out above any type of trend line that anybody would be able to draw on this. Okay, sorry about that. I had to mute the microphone. But yeah, this is tough for anybody to draw out trend lines because it's just completely broke every type of indicator that you could have probably put on here. I mean, really, that was the trend that we were in after having a nice dip. And let me go ahead and make these a little thicker. Maybe we'll put dotted lines. And then I'll go ahead and change this as well. We'll make this, we'll make it white, have it stand out. All right, so this was the trend that we were in, and it was following that trend nicely, very nice, until it just had that nice parabolic break to the upside, and it never looked back ever since then. It just said, you know what, I'm leaving the dollar range, and I'm going to start hitting all new time highs. And for this to really break out 60% over that dollar range, I mean, that's huge. Those are significant gains there. So, you know, this trend has been completely broken. I mean, this would have been a little more realistic if it would have stayed within this trend, and stayed closer to the white line at the top than it is on the green line. Even if it would have stayed close to the green line, it would have still been trending to the upside. So we'll see exactly how this thing is going to react if, you know, this pump is not going to be sustained, and it is going to kind of get back down to earth and play within the trend line that she's actually supposed to play in. So as time goes on, we're going to really follow this trend line, because this will be on here to see exactly if she's going to maintain the trend, or, you know, if she's going to break down below it. So, I mean, what I would like to see this thing do is really stay above. I mean, even though I don't have a position in it, it'd be great to have a position. But for anybody that does have a position, I mean, what I would like to see this thing do is kind of stay above that white line, and trend above that white line, and continuously trend above that white line. And then we could be really, you know, kind of maybe forming a flag pattern, but we'll see. You know, we'll see exactly what this does. As long as it stays, you know, within this white range above it, and kind of gets into a consolidation mode, you know, we could have a bull flag forming, possibly. It's too early to tell, to be honest with you. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Delete that. This thing is covering up where okay, there we go. So we'll take that high of 160. Yeah, this is just, it's hard to chart out, to be honest with you. Very tough. So we'll see exactly how this thing will play out. And I'll leave these, you know, these trend lines and support and resistance on there to see exactly, you know, what are the probabilities of it kind of getting wedged in here, and hitting that wedge. And once it hits that wedge, there's a possibility that we could have a nice pop to the upside, or she could just kind of, you know, form a nice cup and handle type of formation. So if she does get to this wedge, there's a possibility that we could have a nice pop, or she could just trend right along, possibly this white dotted line, that upper trend line, basically. And at some point, she is going to have a nice pop to the upside, where, you know, we'll see if she forms a nice symmetrical type of cup and handle. And if she does form a cup and handle, of course, you know, she's going to get rejected at 160. It's going to have a rejection. I mean, we've got to really look at the order book to determine, you know, where the sellers are going to be stacked up, to determine if that's going to be a point where it kind of retraces back from. But if it does end up, you know, getting up there to 160, you know, and starts forming a nice handle, you know, that might be a great opportunity to just kind of take a small position if you're not already in it, because we know what cup and handles do majority of the time. You know, we get a nice parabolic move on a nice cup and handle formation, as long as it's a symmetrical cup and handle formation. All right, let me get to some of the questions, and then we'll definitely be paying heavily attention to this. But I would love this thing to get down to $1. You know, that's where I would love to see this thing kind of get down to, for me to just take a position in. I don't want to currently chase it at this current level that it's in. All right, and I'll leave that up there as well too. So we'll see exactly how she's going to react to this type of trend line that we drew out. But let's go ahead and take a look at the order book. And to be honest with you, that's probably the only one I'm going to cover today. And then I want to be able to get to some of the questions. Now, if you guys want me to just, you know, cover a different cryptocurrency, I'll do it. Or if you want me to kind of interact with everybody that's leaving a message in the chat, I will definitely interact with everybody. So let me know whether you just want me to cover another cryptocurrency, maybe SAN, or let's see what else, Iota. Then I can cover those, or I can kind of get to the chat and interact with everybody that's on the chat. All right, full order book we have access to, which is sweet. Where are my buyers stacked up? Probably that $1. Let's look at that $1 psychological level. There we go. So let's see, 13 people are very like-minded and thinking exactly what I'm thinking. So 7,600, 13 buyers stacked up at the $1 price point. And of course, this is what I would be doing right above that $1 price point. Very smart person. Put it to 1.0001. He's going to have a better chance of it having executed if it does get to that level. So he saw that order book and said, whoa, there's 13 people stacked up. I'm going to go ahead and hop in line in front of them and try to get an entry in before they get their entry in. Because, if he was to put it in with the $1, he's not going to be first in, first out. So he's going to be first in, first out, or she is going to be first in, first out at that 1.001 price point. All right, let's take a look at that 125 price point. 125, not too impressed at all. 120, 12 people for 5,864. So that 120, I'm going to jot that down because that's a level to look at. 120 and then $1. All right, 30,000 at 120.69. That's a good amount, and that's only one person. There's another one person for 30,000. So it looks like, let's see if there's any more 30,000s. Because that person could just be spreading their orders out, not to cause any type of panic or fear, which that's exactly what I would be doing if I was looking to buy 30,000 at a time. 60 cents. We got 14 buyers. So I'm going to jot that down. I'm sorry, 60 cents. 14 buyers. Yeah, I always like to see, if what I've plotted out is pretty accurate. I mean, you can, just look at the order book and base it on that. But then it's not going to really have you go into the habit of doing these technical analysis and then looking at the probability to see if you're correct. Because, I mean, there's going to come a time where you can't really analyze something. You just don't have the time, but it's getting to a price point that you're interested in. And just by looking at the chart, you can tell exactly the trend, the support and resistance and things like that without really having the time to sit there and analyze it and really look at the order book. Where are our sellers? Where is this thing possibly going to have a major issue from? 150. 9 people for about 10,000 coins. I mean, it's not a lot of coins, but it's 9 people. 154. 160. And that's not too much. Let's look at that all-time high that is set. What did it get up to? OMG got to 163. So I'm surprised there aren't too many people stacked up in 163. There's only 2 people, unless the order is hidden. Now, if the order is hidden, we're not going to be able to see exactly who stacked up at that price point. They're hiding the order for a specific reason. I mean, they're paying extra in commission to be able to do that, but they don't want to instill that fear and have this thing dump before they can get out. But yeah, so there could be a lot more people at that 163, all-time high level that it had actually set. All right, so let me go ahead and get to some of these comments, and then, by 11:30-ish, 11:45-ish, I will have to end the live stream, and I do apologize. All right, let's see. I'm not sure how far I got to scroll up, but I will try to scroll up as best as I can. And yeah, so the one question is, are there any good resources for learning technical analysis? And that is something I will be providing. I'll be providing, a couple services later on. And, one of them is going to be kind of like a one-on-one, like personalized trading session. So whatever it is that, you want me to go over, or you want to start mastering, we will have like kind of a personalized trading session where you tell me what it is that you want to learn, and I'll create that lesson plan based on what it is of an interest that you have, and those normally will go for about an hour. And then I'll be offering a different type of service where it's basically kind of walk-in new traders that are into the market that haven't really set up an account yet, that found my live stream and found it helpful, where I'll be setting up almost like it's going to be more of a group type of setting. I'm not sure how many people I'll have in the group, maybe 5 to 10, depending on what we're going to be covering. But basically, it's going to be covering everything from A to Z, how to set up an account, how to fund it, excuse me, how to purchase your first cryptocurrency, how to transfer that cryptocurrency, how to arbitrage it, and things like that. So those are basically, for new traders that are coming onto the market, not for anybody that's already, established their position in trading, have set up accounts, they know how to do arbitrage, they know how to, fund that account, things like that. But there are a lot of new people, that this cryptocurrency market is just very confusing to them. So I'll be doing that on an hourly basis as well too. But yeah, the one-on-ones though, those are going to be very, very personalized to what it is that you want to learn. And those are the ones I would probably recommend, if you already have the idea of, of trading and you've already set up those accounts and things like that, but you just want to cover a specific topic for an hour. Those are topics that I would be covering. So the crypto market brought you back into a Ponzi scheme. Into another Ponzi scheme, basically, to an extent. I like the volatility, and I like the fact that, when I first started, there weren't as many coins as there are now, but, let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap real quick and see how many coins there are. But yeah, it's going to be very easy to, manipulate things, of course. So you're going to have, if something is pumped once, it's just not going to flatline for 5-10 years. It's going to be pumped again because there aren't too many cryptocurrencies. So, it'll get back. So 821 different cryptocurrencies. So if something is pumped now and it flatlines for X amount of time, there's a chance that it might be pumped again. So, you want to definitely take an entry when it flatlines and when it completely flatlines, so that, you're actually getting a better entry. But yeah, market cap, $95.9 billion, 47.5 dominance, which is huge. And it's a little scary though, to be honest with you, where Bitcoin and Ethereum have, majority of the dominance. We're talking about 66.6 billion. That's a lot that they're dominating the market. I don't think Ripple belongs up there, but that's a whole different story, a whole different conversation. Potters, you live in DC. Dude, that is awesome. Yeah, my brother lives in DC. My sister lives in Alexandria. My other sister lives in Woodbridge. She actually lived in Woodbridge. Now she lives in Springfield. I think right off Van Dorn exit. Yeah, I'm not in DC too often, but once a year, twice a year, I do go down to Virginia to visit my sister. But I don't stop into DC too much, unless my brother is at home and I go to see him in DC. But normally he comes over to my sister's house. So, but yeah, it's I'll definitely let you guys know if I'm able to do a meet and greet, depending where I'm at. And honestly, later on, as this YouTube channel gets bigger and bigger and bigger, I would love to meet the viewers, that are consistently on, on the live stream and chatting with me. So as time goes on, we'll see. Maybe, we'll create a map and then we'll have everybody just kind of pinpoint where they're from. And, I'll look at the map and say, okay, you know what, we got, I'm just making up numbers here. We got 1,000 people that are from this specific location. Maybe that's a trip I'll plan, and I'll inform it that, hey, you know what, on this date, I will be, in this city or this country. We got about 1,000 viewers that are from that specific city or country. Let's go ahead and do some sort of meetup. But yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to meet you guys and be able to have a verbal type of conversation. East Coast it is, dude. Yeah, we will, dude. We will. I think, I'll probably have that meet and greet in Philly first, to be honest with you, because I am in Philly, more than I am in DC. Yes, Potters, that is true. They don't allow margin trading for US customers. But I don't know why they're showing $2.40 in my margin account. Like, I've never seen that before. It always said, like, zero. But they are showing that I have, $2.47 worth of margin to use. Which that doesn't make sense at all. But I've tried to utilize margin a while back, and it wouldn't let me at all. It said, nope, you are a US citizen. You cannot utilize margin whatsoever. I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge this just to kind of see the breakdown of OMG. And I would love OMG to get to that price point of $1 would be great. Kraken's pretty low volume. Yes, it is. Which is faster? I don't know what you mean, which is faster. In what sense? If you clarify that question, I'd be happy to answer it for you. GDAX will be your go-to margin trading. Not right now, though. They've completely disabled margin after that debacle, that crazy crash that they caused, in my opinion. I think they allowed it to go through. But yeah, no margin trading right now. So that means that there's no shorting. So, we're not going to really have a short squeeze happening if we do have a nice move to the upside. So let's just say hypothetically, people are down on Ethereum and they don't believe in Ethereum and they decide to short. The more shorts that are piling into Ethereum or Ether, and then it decides to make a nice move to the upside because a whale decided to, buy a good amount at a specific price and get it to jump up. Those short positions they're going to be covering. They're going to be covering. They have to buy. I mean, they don't have to, but if they want to minimize their loss, they're going to have to buy. And when they buy, and then you got a lot of other people buying, that causes a short squeeze, which causes a nice parabolic move to the upside. But we're not going to see that on GDAX. Not at all. Not until they allow margin trading. And when they allow margin trading, they're going to allow you the opportunity to short. So until that time, I don't think we're going to see too much volatility happening. But GDAX or Coinbase did sign up, I think, 100,000 new people recently. And that's a lot. That's a lot. I wonder what that's going to do to their system. Definitely nothing good. That's going to bog it down. Yes, low volume means you pay a premium. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time getting out. So if you buy a good amount of coins, if you take a very sizable position in something that's really not moving, it's gonna take you forever to get out. It might take you 5 days just to get out of a position, and that's not fun. You definitely want there to be a lot of liquidity, for the ability to be able to get in and out without any issues. Did GDAX ever give me back my money? Yes, to an extent, they did. Not everything. They made it right. They fudged the numbers a little bit, and so they basically what they did was they indicated that, okay, you know what, the flash crash happened at 317.82. Anybody that was affected by this flash crash, that's the point where we're going to give everybody back their money. We're going to calculate it as though they bought it at 317.82. I never bought Ethereum at 317.82. I bought it at 250. And if you guys go back and watch my video, I mean, everything was basically liquidated except for 3.6 coins. So out of 112 coins, they left me with 3.6. And I was like, okay, I lost that money. I mean, you guys can go watch the video. I mean, it kind of hurt a little bit, but you know what? I've been trading for a while, and these are things that you kind of have to learn to accept, to be honest with you, when it happens. So, I basically said, it's only money. Money comes, money goes. But the issue was that the 3.6 that I was left with, I got an execution price of $250 because that was my original purchase of the 112 coins. So I was left with 3.6 after the debacle, after the liquidation. And I took those 3.6 that I purchased at 250, evenly fair, and I sold them at 328, which was a nice profit, to be honest with you. I mean, almost $300 in profit. But when Coinbase did their calculation, they basically even calculated those 3.6 that I was left with, that I bought at 250 and sold at 328. They calculated those at 317.82. So in actuality, when they gave me back the refund, they didn't calculate those as though I bought them fair and square at 250. They said, oh no, we're going to calculate those as though you bought it at 317.82. So the $300 profit that I made on those 3.6 was really a $30 profit because of their calculation, fudging the number, as I should say. And that was really what kind of irritated me. It's like, I bought those fair and square, at $250, and I sold them at 328, which is very great profit. And I was like, how can you calculate those as though I bought them at 317.82? So they fudged the numbers, but they somewhat made it right. But actually, I'm not even looking at those coins. Those coins are just basically non-existent right now to me. I put a very high sell price of like $500 on them. I'm not going to be trading with those at all. I'm going to be trading with what I was left with. And I was left with like, I don't know, maybe I'll make that a contest for you guys to figure out what I was left with after the flash crash. But maybe that'll be later on down the road. Let's see, Kraken or Bitfinex for EOS. I don't know. I can't really give a recommendation. I mean, I use Bitfinex. They're not great. They're not bad. And I'm sure the same thing with Kraken. They're not great. They're not bad. Just don't fall in love with the exchange. Really don't fall in love with it because, shit can happen. And it can happen to any exchange. I mean, Kraken has been hacked. Kraken has had a flash crash. Did they make it right for their customers? No, they didn't. They definitely didn't make it right. Whereas GDAX did make it somewhat right, and I was kind of happy with that. Iota was added to bit 520. I don't know about that. Or in the sense that I don't know about that. Like, I haven't heard of that. So I wasn't saying it in the sense that, no, it didn't get added. Yeah, I don't know if it did or not. Let's see. Crypto Dent. Bitfinex for EOS. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I use. That's one thing I didn't take a look at. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap real quick, and then I'll get back to the chart. But I want to see exactly where are EOS. Where is it listed, and who controls the volume on EOS? Billion total supply, 238 million circulating supply. So that's not too bad. I thought they would have like 950 million circulating supply. But yeah, 238 million circulating supply is not bad in comparison to them having 1 billion of total supply. Yunbi, 56.69% is what they're controlling, but that's just not in USD pair. And USD pair, Kraken is second with 9.71%. So it is on a couple different exchanges, which is good. And the volume, depending on what pair you're trading, is kind of spread out, except for Yunbi and that currency, because it's 59 points, over 50% dominance. Let's see, Iota. They've already maxed out. Max supply and circulating supply are the same. So pre-mined, I think I would say yes. So I don't like that. I don't like that fact at all. That max supply and circulating supply is already there. It's met up. Oh, so it's only offered on Bitfinex and Iota Exchange. Interesting. And I do like how, depending on, what pair you're trading, whether it's a USD, Ether, or BTC pair, that they're pretty even, to be honest with you. Yes, the USD pair does tend to dominate a little bit, but I do like how, Ether and BTC are taking a good amount of the volume as well, too. But yeah, not too many exchanges. I mean, Iota Exchange and Bitfinex, that's it. So a little scary. Might not be a long-term hold, to be honest with you. We'll see. We'll have to play the trend line. That's basically what we'll have to play. Iota, what was the other one? Let's see. SAN. Sentiment Network. Total supply is not bad. 83 million total supply. Circulating supply, a little high in comparison to the total supply, but I do like that this is in the hundreds of millions of total supply. What about the exchanges, though? Bitfinex is controlling the majority of the volume. Yeah, I don't like that too much. But I do like that it's just not on Bitfinex, so that there are two other exchanges. But it controls majority of the volume. OMG. $140 million total supplies, 98 million circulating supplies. So a good amount of pre-mining happened there, I'm assuming. Bittrex. All right, so between Bittrex and Bitfinex, depending on what pair you're trading, Bitfinex has the 54 or 55 with BTC pair, and then about under 22 or under 22.5% for the USD pair on Bitfinex. So that's not too bad. But Bittrex still controls majority of the volume. All right, what is this thing doing? Are we going to possibly see the 125 on this? Kill me. Let's see. Did anybody watch Mac's live stream last night? Guy was banning so many people. Can you explain all the CH drama? I will in a second or two. Give me a second. All right, so I don't know who Max is. I haven't watched any of his live streams or anything like that, and I don't know why he was banning people. But CHC drama, chain coin drama. I mean, the chain has been broken. The link has been broken, and I think. Let me see something real quick. And I think even their logo, chain has been broken on their logo. You know, they should have connected this chain somehow, some way, you know, to make it an unbreakable chain. So I think unbreakable was taken off. But yeah, the link has been broken. And I think, you know, if you're not in with the CHC of the HODL group, then you know, there's going to be a lot of hating that's going to be happening. You know, they want people that it's going to be hodling or holding chain coin and not really trading it. But what do you think they're doing as you're holding? You know, you're getting the price to go up, giving them the opportunity to get out. So if somebody tells you to hold, sell. Do the opposite of what somebody's telling you to do. There's a reason why they want you to do what it is that they want you to do, because they want to benefit from it. So do the opposite of what they're telling you to do. But yeah, I haven't watched Max's live stream. I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you. All right, let me see. I think I got to scroll up for some of these comments that I might missed. Am I going to buy shitcoin? No. That's a good one. Is that even available? Let's see. Nothing for that. Yeah, I don't see that at all, guys. Gonna nibble on some EOS. I would love to nibble on some EOS, but yeah, I would like to see it come down to a level that I like, and it's just not at that level yet. Same thing with SAN. Same thing with Iota. El Tato, I think that's your name. Wants to know, how many hours a day do I do this to be profitable? Is it feasible to do this while working on a regular job? He works from home, but is ignoring, you're ignoring work right now. I've done that in the past, to be honest with you. You know, I used to work from home. I had an hour commute, but I had the chance to telecommute and work from home a couple of days here and there. And yeah, I never got anything done. I was always just trading then. So yes, you can do this, you know, part-time. You don't have to do this full-time. And I will never recommend anybody to do this full-time at all until you've actually gotten somewhat good at the game. And it is a game that we're playing. Until you really get good at it, stick with your job, you know, because it does provide a steady income. And even, you know, if you start trading and you start going full-time, you know, still stick with your job, to be honest with you. Just kind of learn to balance those two out. And as long as you can balance those two out, you know, because you have steady income coming in from your job, you know, the benefits and things like that, where yes, in the market, you can make money, but you can also lose it real quick. And if you don't have a steady income coming in to sustain your living, then that's when things could be a little stressful. But yes, you can definitely do this part-time, and you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours, you know, sitting there in front of a computer to try to find an entry. You know, there's limit orders you can put in. Just figure out, you know, where the major support is, and put a position in to buy at that level. And then kind of, you know, you can set it and forget it for, maybe a couple hours or a day. And then, periodically you want to be looking at it on your phone. You want to always kind of immerse yourself in the cryptocurrency market and kind of know where the price is at all times. So I don't have to be in front of my computer, and I'm not in front of my computer, for 24 hours, day in, day out. And there are people that do that. And over time, it will eat away at you. And I've done that before. But we all have tablets. We all have smartphones. Don't have to be in front of your computer for you to know what that price is. And you can trade right from your phone as well too. So unless you're day trading and really, market buy, market sell, you don't need to be in front of a computer, especially if you're swing trading it, buying it today and then holding it for a couple of days. And, so you put a buy in at a, very good, what you think is good support level. And if it hits that support level and your trade gets executed, and then put an order in to sell at the resistance. And that's the best way. Then you don't have to be in front of your computer, really watching these charts like a hawk. Watching these charts like a hawk. I forget who it was. Oni. I don't know if you're on here. I think he says, hawk eye causes you to panic and sell, and he's absolutely right. And I think that's the way he worded it. But yeah, watching this thing like a hawk, and you have a position, and it starts to dip on you, is when you might panic and sell. But yeah, you could definitely do this part-time from home. Yeah, Bitfinex will always have 3 times the volume in comparison to Kraken. I think, Kraken with, the crash that they had and the hack, and, it probably scared a lot of people off, to be honest with you. A lot of people. But yeah, don't trade on an exchange that just does not have the volume. It's not worth it. Any rational explanation as for why it shot up like that? Are you talking about OMG? Yeah, I didn't really look at the fundamental side of OMG, to be honest with you. I have not looked at that yet to see, what was going on in the news for it to run up. If anybody knows, if there was any fake news or positive news that came out about OMG, let me know. If that is what you're talking about, Marianne. But yeah, also remember too, if there's no news to back up why something is going parabolic and why something is going to the moon, you want to be very careful. I mean, research to see why, if there is news out there. If there's news, it's more than likely not a fake pump and dump. If there's no news, it's a pump and dump, and get ready for that dump to happen. But if there is news, yes, they are going to pump it, but it's going to be a sustained pump where it's going to maintain that price. So considering it's maintained a price over $1.25, there must have been some sort of positive news. Or maybe somebody got some insider info and decided to take action on that insider info before actually the news came out. It's our time of the month. I guess every crypto will have their time of the month, right? So there's only 821 of them. They'll have their time. But that's funny. Oregon homegrown, that is funny. AntShares or Neo / AntShares, I don't know. Maybe the rebranding to Neo will do something. Yeah, I don't think I like the name AntShares, but Neo, especially if you like the Matrix. Yeah, Neo's a good name. Tracy, what do you remember what that was that I said I would get to it? Did I even jot it down? Was it Raya Coin? I think I could be wrong. If it was Raya Coin, I will definitely take a look at that, Tracy, for you before I end this live stream. Yeah, Oregon homegrown. You're absolutely right. This is definitely a great place to learn some of the little tips and tricks. As long as I can get an entry, and I'm very selective with my entries. It's just not. I'm going to take an entry and wish and hope that it goes up. Those aren't the type of entries that I'm looking for. I want to find a very good entry where it's coming to me, and the probabilities of me making money off of it is a lot higher than me losing money. Because I can buy it here. Yes, I can buy I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 right here at this price point. But why would I? I'm going to be taking a look at this order book heavily and trying to get a better entry. I want a bigger slice of the pie. And by, I think, me getting in at this price level 135, it's not going to give me a bigger slice of the pie. That bigger slice of the pie is going to be, when this thing gets to 110 or below, then it's going to give me a bigger slice of the pie. I want half of the pie. That's what I want. So I want to get this at $1 and sell it at $1.50. That's 50% there. That's what I would like. How do you account for hidden orders on Bitfinex? You can't. And that's a great question, Desert Fox. You can't. There's really no way for you to find out. There's a reason why they're hiding their order. I mean, they're paying 0.3% in commission instead of paying 0.2% in commission. So they're paying extra. So unless you have insider info or somebody that works at Bitfinex that's able to divulge that information to you, there's no way to find out unless you're really watching the trade history and the order book at the same time and the trades that are actually being executed. Then you can kind of have an idea that orders are being hidden at that specific price level. But you gotta have the eyes for it. You got to be able to look for it. And I can find it. I can look for it. But that's when hawk eyes kind of kicks in, and that's all you're focused on. And to do that continuously, I mean, your eyes would just, they would start hurting. They would start flickering. Tracy, thank you so much for that comment. I do like it. It's a great chat crowd too. Very polite, lots of learning. That's awesome. Yeah, my goal is to try to be as interactive as I can with everybody that's on this live stream. I mean, you guys are dedicating your time to listen to me jibba jab. I'll just say, listen to me jibba jab, and I do appreciate that. So, I have the utmost respect for anybody that's on this live stream. So thank you so much for you guys joining. I do appreciate it because if it wasn't for you, this would not be possible at all. Yeah, what's the symbol for shitcoin? Because I didn't find the symbol at all. And I don't know. I'll analyze it. I'll take a look at it. I probably won't buy it. Tracy, which one are you talking about? We may not see 7 again, or may go in today. I'm assuming ant shares. Is that what you're talking about? If it's ant shares, let me know. I will cover one cryptocurrency and either Raicoin or ant share. I will definitely take a look at it. But I think on Friday I did cover ant share, but I have no issues looking at it today, considering there is that rebranding that's going to be happening. Yeah, Breck, that was you who asked me to take a look at Raicoin, so I will take a look at that. Yeah, I will announce it. So if you guys haven't connected with us on Facebook, definitely connect with us on Facebook, and that's probably how I'm going to announce. If I'm in Philly or if I'm going to be in DC, and if I'm doing a live stream and I know I'm going to be in Philly on a certain date, I mean I'll announce it and say, hey, you know what? If you guys want to meet up, at a bar down South Philly or South Street, or I don't know, Penn's Landing, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. Old City would actually be cool. I haven't been to Old City in a long time. If you guys are from Philly, Old City is a great place. Shitcoins can be useful to acquire more tasty BTC. Yeah, it all depends, I guess, what shitcoin will do. Yeah, 90%, Oregon homegrown. I'm glad you're sharing that with us because that's definitely true. 98% of the internet stocks that you've traded in the 90s, and it's probably not just you, a lot of other people traded in the 90s do not exist. So what do you think is going to happen to a lot of these tokens that are created on a Ethereum network? I mean, a handful will exist, but that's about it. I think a lot of them will just kind of disappear and take people's money, unfortunately. When will BTC hit 3K? I don't know. I don't think we're out of the clear, Daniel, until I say mid-August. Wait for the dust to settle. There's still a lot of uncertainties that are happening. I think for them to adopt BIP 91. Was it BIP 91? Yeah. I was a little too fast. So I don't know. I don't think we're in the clear. Kraken gives you the creeps. Yeah, that's not good. Flashback of Mount Gox. Yeah, I mean, that could happen anytime. Unfortunately, this Mount Gox thing it's not good. I don't know why I'm not seeing. Okay, I do see this question. Let's see what Beck is saying. Don't beat me up too much over the question. I'd like to hit 50 per day trading. Do you have a way to calculate roughly what amount I'd need to have available to hit that? Oh man, that's a conversation. I couldn't do that on this live stream, but $50 a day, that's very reasonable, Breck. Very reasonable. You're not being unreasonable about that. $50 a day is highly attainable. Yes. But in order for you to hit that $50 per day, it's tough to do it with 200 bucks. It's very tough. I say with 1,000 or more, yes, it's attainable. You could easily do it with 200 bucks, 300 bucks, 400 bucks as well too. But it might just take you a little while to kind of build up your position, to be able to take a very sizable position on a crypto and be able to capitalize on that. But $50 a day is highly attainable. If you have $1,000, you can care less about losing. I mean, the goal is not to lose money, of course. We all know that. But if something does happen, where you put $1,000 into a cryptocurrency and it goes down 60%, as long as you're willing to hold out and wait for the turnaround, then you'll be okay. But if you need that $1,000 to sustain your living, don't do it. But yeah, $1,000 I think is a great starting point. You could even do it with 500 bucks. You can really do it with anything. It just really the sizable position that you take, it's going to be very limited. And if you're using an exchange that charges you commission, that's going to eat away at your profit. So if you're starting with something small, my honest opinion would be, GDAX. I mean, as much as, it's a love and hate relationship with GDAX, you're going to save a lot of money because as long as you utilize the limit buy and limit sell, you're not going to have to pay commission. But yeah, easily attainable. And I would never beat up anybody over that question at all. I think that's a very great question for new people starting out. Gene, yes, 100%. I agree with you, man. That's an awesome advice. I mean, especially RSI. I'm a big fan of RSI, and I've talked about it in the past. I do look at RSI. Sometimes the exponential moving average, simple moving average. I try to keep it very basic. I don't try to clutter my judgment with too many indicators. And I've seen people trade with so many indicators on their screen. I'm like, I can't even look at the candlestick. Like, what is the candlestick telling me? I'm like, you got too many indicators on there. But yeah, just, it's that KISS method, keep it simple. But yeah, you are absolutely right, man. Just, look at the chart, find a favorable position, find a handful of cryptocurrencies that you believe in, and find a great entry. And stick to your plan. You have to have a plan of execution. You have to have a plan of exit. And when you have those plans, you're more likely to succeed. So anything you get into it, make sure you have a plan for it. This is the price I want to enter because of this and this and this. This is the price I want to exit because of this, this, and this. And stick to that plan. Don't break the rules. It'll suck that if it does go up higher where you sold, but like I've said before, it's better to wish that you were in a trade than to wish you were out. Because it's happened to me before. I've gotten greedy. I buy something at $1, it goes to $1.75, and I told myself, I'm going to sell when it gets to $1.50. Starts hitting $1.30, $1.40, $1.50. I don't sell because I'm like, oh, it can get to $1.75. It gets to $1.75. I'm like, oh no, you know what? It can get to $2. It doesn't get to $2. It gets to like $1.80 and then crashes right back down. And I'm like, oh, I should have stuck to my plan and sold at $1.50. Now it's $1.20. So yeah, stick to your plan. Stick to your plan. That's when you're going to make money. When you break your plan or break your rule, that's when you're going to lose money. You can easily lose $50 a day in a bear. Yes. Oh, that's too funny. $50 a day on a few $1,000s is unreasonable. You think so? That's easily attainable. Unless I'm reading out the wrong way, Oregon homegrown. $50 a day is not much to make on a few $1,000s that you have. That's very attainable. But you got to remember too, if you get into something and you end up utilizing all of your capital, which I never recommend utilizing everything, you want to maybe utilize 30%. And then if it does drop, buy more to lower your cost average. But yeah, if you end up utilizing everything and you went all in at a specific price because you thought that was a major support and it happened not to be a support, you either got to cut your loss or you got to stick through it and hold it. Don't sell at the bottom though. Now, if Breck would have said, $500 a day, I would have said, dude, you're being unrealistic. You're starting out with how much? Yeah. But $50 a day is very realistic, guys. Two to 5%. That's awesome. Oh man, but I would take 2 to 5% on a daily basis. You learn the first time with the Iota loss. Yeah, dude. Losses can hurt. They do, but you just gotta, especially if you don't go all in. I bought Ethereum. Oh no, I'm sorry. I bought Litecoin at $44 and then it dropped to 41. I bought more at 41, lower my cost average of 42.50. It broke 40 and dropped to 35. I didn't buy any more because I wasn't in front of my computer, but I was like, man, I would have taken advantage of that 38, possibly 35, and had even a lower cost average. And I had money left over to buy some. So that's the best thing is to scale into your trade, and then scale out of your trade. And if you don't know what I mean by scaling in and scaling out, it just means using a portion of your capital to buy at a specific price. And if it drops lower, you still have capital left to buy in more and lower your cost average. That's the best way of really playing these markets. You can't predict it 100%. Nobody can predict this market 100% of where the bottom is and where the top is. Okay, you're talking new traders? Yes. Yeah, new traders that are just coming on. Yeah, I would paper trade first, see exactly how things are working out for you before you actually put your hard-earned money, because new traders do lose money. It happens. You will lose your money. I'm not going to tell you you'll make your money as a new trader. You'll lose money. You'll be giving your money to the more experienced traders. And then as you kind of learn and stay in the game and you get better and better at it, there's going to be new traders that are going to be giving you their money because they don't know how to trade. Fear and FOMO will kill you. Yes. How do you make $1 million a day with $50 of capital? That's a good one. I think we'd all be at the beach, sipping on mojitos. And trading, or actually not even trading really. By then you'd have your own hedge fund firm. But yeah, $1 million a day with a $50 of capital. Ooh, that'd be tough, man. And unless you had insider info, and you were in with the whales and they said to you, hey, we're going to drop the price down to this, you want to go all in, then yeah, over time you can. But yeah, you'd have to have that insider info and there's just no way. Open a brothel. You guys are too funny. You have me laughing today. I'm going to try to just get, 1 or 2 comments. And then I definitely want to take a look at Ryecoin and Ant shares just real quick before I get off this live stream. And I know it's gone a little longer. But I love the fact that, I can interact with you guys and, to an extent and be able to read the comments and respond to those comments. I do enjoy that a lot. You always lose money learning. Yes, man. I've lost money. I've taken a $15,000 bathroom break. Some of you guys have been with me since day one, and you know about that $15,000 bathroom break. Yeah, Tom, that's awesome, man. Paper trading, awesome. And just be realistic, with your paper trading. Don't say, oh, I'm going to start with $100,000. Start with something realistic. Let's just say, 500 or 1,000, and say, okay, I have 500, I have 1,000. I'm going to buy this at this price and write it on a piece of paper. And then if it gets to a certain price, sell it. Just, be honest with yourself, because that's the only way that you're actually going to learn. Don't cheat yourself when you're paper trading, because you can easily cheat yourself. But yeah, come up with a plan first. Have a plan of entry, have a plan of exit, and stick to those plans when you're paper trading and see how you do. What do I think of Bitfinex as an exchange? And with OMG, I don't know. I don't really love Bitfinex, to be honest. I don't love any of the exchanges, to be honest with you. They all have issues. You really got to take the good with the bad. But I do like the fact that they're adding more coins. I seriously do. Before it was, Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Zcash, Ethereum Classic, Dash, Ripple. Actually, Ripple was recently added. But they've recently added, let's see how many, 1, 2, 3, or I mean, 5 new cryptocurrencies within the past, I don't know, a month and a half and 2 months. So I do like the fact that they are adding some of these cryptocurrencies that, a while back you couldn't trade at all with USD. And I do like trading with USD. No, I've never sold on local Bitcoins, and I probably will never sell on local Bitcoins, to be honest with you. All right, so let's go ahead to Bittrex. If I can get logged in, we'll just say market. I'm not actually going to log in. And then we'll take a look at Raya Coin and Ant shares, as long as it's on here. Actually, I don't even know where it is. RIE. Circulating supply 35 million. Not giving us the total supply. Whoa, what happened to this? I don't know if there was any news that was out. I mean, that caused this thing to go from like 1.5 cents all the way to 20 cents. I mean, that's crazy. Market cap went all the way up to 7 million from like 250,000. Yeah, pump and dump. Pump and dump. I mean, from 20 cents, it came down all the way to 6 cents. Now 13 cents, or well, it was 13 cents, down to a little over 10 cents. Yeah, pump and dump central, man. I don't know anything about this coin. I really don't. BTC 38 and Poloniex 87%, 12%. I mean, yeah, I'll take a look at the chart. I don't think I like this. Yeah, these will be the last 2 cryptocurrencies I look at, and then tomorrow I'll cover the other 2 that I'm interested in, possibly for long-term investment. Yeah, I mean, Brooke, I guess it all depends on the difficulty, and I mean, I don't know if you're cloud mining or hardware mining. It all depends on the difficulties and how many coins you're actually earning. I mean, there could be a time where it explodes out of nowhere, and I mean, we saw that. Let me look at the chart again. I mean, we saw a flat line and then it kind of take off. So, I mean, eventually it's going to happen again. There's only 821 cryptocurrencies. A lot of them are very stable, but some of these ones that are not stable do have a crazy pump. And the problem is that it could just be a little while before that pump actually happens. But yeah, I mean, this thing was, I mean, I don't really look at when it was first listed, but let's see how low this thing got. Yeah, under a penny. Way under a penny. So I don't know. I mean, if you like the technology behind it, you like the, how active the community is and development team and their future outlook, then yeah, I mean, to mine it when it's cheap, because yeah, it's gonna get pumped, but then just be ready when it's pumped for you to sell, and you have to have those exchanges for you to be able to sell. So you need to be in Poloniex or BTC 38, and as long as Poloniex is not down. All right, so let's see. Oh, Ant shares. So they haven't really changed anything yet on rebranding, so-called Ant shares. The Ethereum, the Chinese Ethereum killer, as they call it. 194,000 Satoshis is kind of the baseline, really good baseline support, anywhere from 176,000 all the way to 200,000 Satoshi. So that's a very good support between those ranges, between the 175 and the 200,000 Satoshi range. So, I mean, today being the 24th, I think I could be wrong, but I thought today was the day that they were going to rebrand. So nobody's really buying the news, or really buying the rumor and selling the news. So I'm surprised this thing really hasn't been pumped to an all-time high yet with this rebranding, unless something that we don't know about is going on, and people are just kind of on the sideline waiting. But yeah, I'm surprised this is not a lot higher. But I would like to. If I was to take a position in this, and I mean, I think I would like to take a position in this if it has that ability to be the Ethereum killer, or at least a competition for Ethereum. Anywhere between 200,000 to 175,000, just to kind of get my feet wet and see what it does. But yeah, it's kind of tough to say what this is going to do depending on the news. If it's horrible news, then yeah, this thing's going to tank. It's going to tank. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what comes out from the rebranding and how they rebranding aside from just changing the name to Neo. RIC was the other one. RIC. We'll take a look at it before I get off this this live stream. Swarm City, huh? Swarm City. If you remind me, on the next live stream, I will try to look at it. But yeah, ever since I got hacked, I really haven't looked at it at all. We need to go BTC pair, RIC. Shout out from Ghana, West Africa. Welcome, buddy. I'm from East Africa. Nice. We got somebody from Ghana. Yeah, shout out your country. If you ever get a chance, shout it out. It's always great to know where you guys are from. Was RC is currently under maintenance or experiencing wallet network issues, deposits, withdrawals will remain disabled until a solution is found. Oh, that sucks. Which may require an update from the RIC team. Yeah, so no trading on this, I'm assuming. But it's moving. It's currently under maintenance. I mean, are we able to trade it? Why is it under maintenance if it's tradable? Maybe for deposits. Okay, so deposits and withdrawals will remain disabled. So I'm assuming that's the only thing that's issue that they're having with. But trading, there's no issues at all. Okay, because I saw this candlestick moving, and I was like, well, how's it moving? That's a shady. And Polonius can be shady. Where has this thing been, though? Anybody else see a head and shoulders forming on BTC USD at the 1 hour? On what exchange are you looking at, Matthew? Yeah, this thing had a nice run. 2 weeks, 30-minute chart that I'm looking at. Yeah, but definitely starting to curl down to the downside. And I mean, we can see that. And a lot of times you really got to look out for these type of patterns where, something goes up so high or something comes down, and then you kind of slowly but surely start to see it, start to curl. You definitely want to start heavily researching that order book to see, if that's a confirmed start of a turnaround breakout possibly, or in the situation now here, it's curling to the downside. Is this the start of a downtrend to continue and to possibly test out the support lines of, let me make sure I get these numbers correct, of, somewhere in the range of 2,400 Satoshi range. And if she ends up breaking that, then, yeah, it could be trouble on the horizon for it, because she will definitely retest the 2,000 Satoshi range. But yeah, I don't know too much about this though. So maybe this is something I'll have to research. But yeah, so far right now, just by looking at the kind of 2 weeks, 2 hour chart, it's starting to curl to the downside. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. No problem, Tracy. Not a problem at all. I have not heard anything about Vera getting hacked. Switzerland, Portugal, welcome. USA, Ohio. You're not too far away from me, Tom. But yeah, welcome. This is awesome. Yeah, Ark, I knew you were from Ohio. See, I remember sometimes where you guys are from. As long as you tell me on a regular basis, I'll remember. Especially if you're continuously coming on to this live stream. I do tend to remember certain things. Venezuela, Texas, in the country. Yes, Texas is its own country. I'm sure they would like to. Looked into Strong Hands. I don't know who Strong Hands is. I'll write it down. I mean, if he's on YouTube, I wouldn't mind. I'll look at it. Somebody asked me to take a look at. Actually, whoever it was said that I sound like not Super Bud, Crypto Bud. I actually checked out his channel, subscribed. He's awesome. So thank you to whoever asked me to take a look at Super Bud. I think he's great. I've definitely subscribed. I also looked at it was a guy for High on Coins, and I was like, oh, dude, you kidding me? I was like, yeah, definitely not, checking out your videos or subscribing. But yeah, crypto Bud is awesome. He was awesome. So hopefully I'll get a chance to kind of catch his live streams if I have the time to. Yeah, but I don't know who Strong Hands is, if that's even a person. But I jot it down and I'll Google it. I'll YouTube it. Philippines, welcome. Strong Hands Coins, if that is his name. All right, so let's go ahead and I got to end this live stream. Unfortunately, I hate to do it, and I want to stay on this as long as I can. But thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. If you're new to this, welcome. Hope to see your name on here, and don't be shy. Say what's up. You don't have to introduce yourself, but just say what's up. Become a regular, and that's kind of what I want to see. But if you haven't done so already, and if you're new to this, don't forget to click on that subscribe button as well as the post notification, and stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And we do live stream these, or at least share the link on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. So if you're watching this from any of those platforms, thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate it. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, please leave those at the comment section when the video gets uploaded, and I'd be happy to respond to those comments. I try to respond to those comments as best as I can whenever I can. There might be one or two comments I haven't responded to, but I think I responded to the majority of the people that have left me a comment. Yeah, as you can hear, my kids are getting a little antsy. Yeah, Tom, see you on the flip side, bud. Hit that thumbs up, especially if you find this information helpful. Help us out, help Crypto Traders Room get noticed. And the more likes it has, the more that people are able to find this live stream. And that's what I would like. I would like for, you guys to possibly share this link, copy and paste the link, copy and send it to one of your friends, or send it to a couple of your friends. Let's get the word out about cryptocurrency, especially if somebody's kind of like on the back burner about cryptocurrency, things like that. Share that link with them. At least you did your part on getting people to kind of acknowledge Bitcoin and possibly, become a part of that mass adoption. Because the last thing you want later on is, a couple years down the road is for your buddy to be like, dude, why didn't you tell me about cryptocurrency? And you're going to be like, well, dude, I told you once. I sent you a link twice. I told you 3 times, and you never took action. How many times am I going to tell you? But yeah, I highly recommend, sharing this link. Any live streams that I do, share it with your friends. Send it to at least one of your friends. If we get 50 people on this live stream and they each share it, with one person, that's possibly an additional 50 people that will come on this live stream and learn something good. Hopefully they learn something good and take something away from it. But I want to thank everybody for joining. I do appreciate it. Tracy, Tom, Marion, Elster, Tato. Let's see who else we got in this room. Give you guys a little shout out before I head out. Potters, Daniel, let's see who else we got on here. ECS, I don't know if you're on here. Dylan, I know you're on here earlier. Enrique, Oregon Homegrown, Matthew, Breck, thank you so much for keeping me company early this morning. You were the first one on. Let's see who else we got. I might say your name twice or 3 times. So Tracy, Daniel, Gene, Tracy Hunter again. What does that say? I copy higher. All right, buddy. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate you guys joining, and thank you so much for commenting and for being part of this live stream. I mean, this is a community that's growing every single day, and it's a community that's going to continue to grow. So let's see. One comment kind of caught my attention. So my best one so far was July 19th. Bought $100 of Iota. Set target sell at 30 cents. Woke up next morning with 120 bucks in my account. Dude, 20%. That is sweet. That's what I like to hear. I mean, I love, a lot of people will look at that and say, oh, well, dude, you made 20 bucks. I don't look at it that way at all. I look at it as you made 20%. That's huge. That's the best way of building that account up, continuously doing that. And don't look at it as a dollar, profit, basically. I mean, don't look at it as I made 20 bucks. And a lot of people do. And that's what is very discouraging for them. Look at it as I just made 20%. So you tell somebody you made 20%, that's huge. But if you tell them you made $20, they're going to be like, oh, well, dude, you made 20 bucks. But they don't realize that was 20%. You put 100 bucks in and you made 120 bucks. That's awesome, Gene. That is awesome. And those are, I'd love to hear, stories like that, hey, you know what? I took 50 bucks and I turned it into 75 bucks. That's 50%. That's awesome. That's what I'd like to hear. So, thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate it. I hate to cut this live stream short, but, tune in to next time. And next time, we'll be covering those other two cryptocurrencies. And don't forget about the super chat and chill. I'm going to be doing that. Maybe, we'll do it on a Saturday or a Sunday. I'll take a look at, maybe 5 of the top contributors for super chat. And, we'll do a chat and chill type of conversation where you guys can ask me anything, and I'll get to know my viewers basically. At least that's what I can do and kind of giving back to the community. That's helped me get, or helped us get to where we are now, over 2,100 subscribers. I mean, that's huge. In less than 7 months, basically, we got to that level. So, I owe a big thanks of gratitude to everybody that's on this live stream, everybody that's shared, Crypto Traders Room with any other people that have subscribed. So thank you so much. And at least I can do is kind of give back to the community that helped us get to this level that we're at. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Be safe. And we'll talk on Wednesday.